What is going on, my YT gang? Y'all already know what time it is. This is your boy Rio, and welcome to another episode of The Zone. Alright, now as you guys may know, a couple of days ago, Deion Sanders managed to get a huge steal, man. He stole a USC former commit, in which he decommitted and decided to commit to old Colorado. You feel what I'm saying? None other than Julian Lewis, the number 2 quarterback in the nation, according to ESPN 300. Now, this is a huge topic because everybody's been talking about Deion Sanders leaving Colorado, whether he should stay with them or just go. Should he go to the league? Should he go to another college team? What should he do from here? You know what I'm saying? Especially considering the fact that his son is about to go to the league. And who better else to chime in on this conversation than my boy Stephen A. Smith. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into that conversation and see what the whole First Take crew had to say about it. Lego.
Prime is about his bag now. Let's not get that twisted. I mean, you know, all of this other stuff that comes with Prime, you're gonna pay the brother. He wants his money now. And obviously there are other opportunities. Me personally, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. Prime time is so big time, we don't even talk about him in the daytime. It should be about prime time, the bright lights, you know, ABC college football on a Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon, or Monday night football in the National Football League, or Thursday night football. To me, that's the platform he belongs on. No disrespect to the wonderful citizens in Boulder, Colorado, but me looking at prime time in Boulder, Colorado, I just think that there's a bigger scene that's meant for him, that's destined for him. RC, he wanted the Florida State job badly when they gave it to Norvell before he ultimately ended up going to Jackson State and what have you. I thought that if Nick Saban ever stepped away, it should be him, but I knew Alabama wouldn't do that. But I thought about Florida. I thought about Texas A&M, SEC, and now I'm thinking about LSU. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about Prime. Prime at LSU with his ability to recruit. Oh my Lord, have mercy. I mean, that's something to think about. If not that, the NFL, just not Boulder, Colorado. That's where I'm at.
Man, I understand that.
I have absolutely no reason to go against what Stephen A. just said. I mean, realistically, we know that when it comes to Colorado, okay, he changed that whole environment. He changed that whole team, the whole atmosphere around, right? But there's only so far he can go, I feel like, when it comes to Colorado. Just like what Stephen A. saying, in the SEC, it's a different environment out there. Point blank period. We all know who Deion Sanders is. Now, imagine if you take that guy, you take that caliber of a coach, player, whatever the case may be, however you view Deion Sanders, and he take his talents down to an SEC team like LSU or Texas A&M or even Florida. You get what I'm saying? Can you imagine how that recruiting class would change? Can you imagine how many 5-star players would want to go to that town? First of all, we know that it's a lot of players that want to play for Deion. This is something that we know for sure, right? But because he's in Colorado, you get what I'm saying? That's a whole different type of atmosphere. When it comes to these young players, they want to go to an atmosphere where they're going to be seen. When you play for a team in the SEC, you already have a higher chance of making it to the league. You're televised 24/7. You get what I'm saying? You're going to be seen. You're going to be playing in those games to where it's, prime time games. And we all know this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. It's a difference when it comes to trying to commit to a school for Deion that's over in Colorado, which don't have a lot of notoriety in my eyes, opposed to committing to a team for Deion in the SEC.
He probably feels some kind of way about FSU, you know, essentially not wanting him and passing on him.
Right.
But if you're FSU, you are emptying the coffers right now because he is going to bring Juju with him. You're going to instantly have a quarterback, which is exactly the biggest issue for them right now. That program was a once proud program that has tanked. And I think you have much more opportunity to have immediate success in the ACC than you do in the SEC.
That's not him. It's not about the immediate success of the ACC. It's about the fact that the ACC ain't the SEC. See, that's the big stage.
I get that, but if he cares about the bag and you back up a bridge truck for him, you can have the SEC is nothing to play with. It's not the Big 12. I just don't. I think
so
in terms
ACC
of
is no joke.
Hold on. We're not saying
the ACC does not have the teams that the SEC
is a big
has.
deal.
First off, Florida State
It's
used to be.
it used to be a once proud team.
Okay, honestly, I don't have no problem with what she's saying. What she's saying is kind of true. You know, Deion Sanders would definitely have a quicker turnaround when it comes to success if he decides to go to Florida State. Because we all know that when it comes to the ACC, those teams are just they're not as talented, okay, when it comes to the SEC. The SEC has so many talented teams. There are a lot of teams in the SEC that we thought that was very dominant or that was going to actually take over the whole SEC this year, and they're losing. I mean, look at Alabama. Look at how they just lost to Oklahoma last night. Look at also how they lost to Vanderbilt. I think Tennessee lost a game or two to an unranked team or to the underdog. This is just the year of the underdog when it comes to the SEC, man. And you know, it's way tougher. It's much tougher in the SEC than it is the ACC. So Deion would have a better chance at being successful in the ACC for sure. However, it still goes back to the recruitment. He goes somewhere like LSU. Now, granted, you know, Juju may not go with him if he go to LSU, considering the fact that I think LSU recruited the #1 quarterback in the recruiting class. But that's a team that consistently get a couple 5 stars, a lot of 4-star caliber players. Deion can become that Nick Saban for that organization. Even if you go to somewhere like Texas A&M, I think he brings that swagger. That swagger that he brings to the table, everybody would want a piece of it, especially skilled players. Now, I'm not saying that if he go to Florida State, he still won't get the same type of talent to join that organization. Because if you think about it, there is a lot of talented players that come out of the state of Florida. A whole lot of talented players, especially when it comes to the skill position. So he will already have the advantage to recruiting those players because they're closer to home, right? But it's nothing like the SEC, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. These players, they want to play for the big teams. Now, granted, you know, the NIL deals, they changed a lot of things when it comes to collegiate football. Just collegiate sports in general. But, you know, I don't know.
He can reinvigorate a program.
Yeah, I understand that. You don't want to me, it's the NFL or you just stay at Colorado. Like, he is the biggest fish in the smallest pond. This is the thing, right? This is the thing.
You say that?
Yes, this is the thing. Let me tell you why. Matthew McConaughey goes to Texas games, right?
Yes.
You know why? Because of Texas. If you coached at Texas, Matthew McConaughey would go to Texas game. All the people that go to Boulder, Colorado, go to Boulder, Colorado because of Deion Sanders. Period. He doesn't need a different stage. He doesn't need a new set to be the captain of. He is Deion Sanders. And so my point is this. My point is this.
Come on, RC.
Listen to me.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
He has changed Colorado. He's changed the way that people enroll in schools. He's changed the price of the tickets. He's changed the butts in the seats. It's a destination for us because he's there. Texas A&M, we gonna go already. We gonna go to LSU. To me, it's go to the pros. And here's why. These dudes have been recruited every single day of their life. They don't want to be told what's wrong with them. They want to be built up. Nobody does that better than him.
We're tight on time. Here's the deal, because I got to get to camp. I get what you're saying. It's not that you're wrong. It's that, wait a minute, it's not complete. I understand Boulder, Colorado. I've seen the stadium. I was there twice, for crying out loud. It got me to come to Boulder, Colorado.
Exactly.
It is pretty. It's the mountains behind you.
I get that part. But it ain't 100,000 showing up in Death Valley or Alabama or Georgia or
We show up no matter what.
I'm just saying, but but there's a different flavor
He's saying Deion's prime time. It doesn't
you understand
need the
I know. I didn't say he needed it. I didn't say that. What I said was it doesn't negate the fact that there's an elevated level of fervor in certain confines that don't exist elsewhere. Come on now. You watch Colorado. You've seen it. I know the crowd, they support them. They're there for them, the whole big camp. But come on now. It's different. It's different in the SEC.
Well,
it's
listen,
different in
I'm gonna
Texas
tell you
and
what.
LSU and Alabama and Georgia.
Here's the other thing then. That luggage you showed up with better be bigger than 2 bags.
Okay.
Right now, when you got Shador and Travis at that place, you can win. You better have 10 of them if you want to win the SEC.
I think Auburn should be looking at them too. How about that?
Look, like I said, man, Stephen A. right. I definitely wouldn't want him to go to the NFL. That's for sure. RC, you my dog, man, but you tripping on this one. Ain't no way Deion need to go to the NFL because a whole lot of conversations talking about he should go to the Cowboys. That is the worst team for him to go coach. Do you understand? Jerry Jones would not allow primetime to come in there and take his shine. Come on, man. We know who Jerry Jones is. We know that. All right, Jerry Jones, he run that organization. He tell the coaches what to do. I just don't see Deion going with that. You get what I'm saying? I'm sorry, RC, but you trim. And like Stephen A. said, man, 100,000 people coming in. Man, it's a whole different environment, man. And then RC talking about you better have better baggage. You better have more baggage. Yeah, I hear what you saying, man, but understand this is the SEC. Like I keep saying, 100,000 people. Imagine you trying to recruit them. You don't need no baggage. You don't need to bring anybody with you if you don't want to. Now, Deion better get Travis Hunter over there. I ain't gonna lie. Don't leave him behind. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even want him to leave Juju behind. But if he have to, then so be it. This is the SEC, man. You bring them kids into that environment. You walk them in that stadium, let him hear how that crowd going crazy. They already sold. They already sold because it's Deion. They already sold. Now it's Deion in the SEC, a team that's going to always be televised no matter what. Bigger rival games. I'm talking about competition at the all-time high. The highest level. You already know when you go to the SEC, you playing against NFL players. And then you walk them into the stadium to where they hear 100,000 people screaming and chanting and going crazy. Come on, RC. Come on. And then the reason I disagree with RC and them so much and agree with Stephen A. Smith a whole lot more is because we can't just think about the money. The money gonna be there. We can't just think about the swag, because the swag is gonna be there. No matter what Deion go, it's gonna be there. People gonna show up because it's Deion regardless. It don't matter where he goes. This is all about Deion Sanders' legacy. He is one of the best. Matter of fact, he is the best cornerback of all time. He wants to win. The only way to get that legacy in college football is to get those rings. You want to be the best coach? Get them rings. Win them championships. Be consistent at it. That's the only way. And for me, I feel like it is way much more easier to do it in the SEC. And it's all because you're going to be able to recruit those high-level talented players year in, year out. And that's all there is to it. Point blank period. So if it were me, if I was in Deion's position, I'd definitely leave Colorado. Now, if he want to go to Florida State, that's cool. He will see success quicker, I feel like. Maybe. Just maybe. But getting those rings, I just don't see it. Not as consistent as somebody like Nick Saban or Kirby Smart. I just don't see it. How y'all feel about it? Should Deion stay in Colorado? Should he go to the NFL? Or should he take his talent somewhere like Florida State or the SEC? Holla back at your boy.